myself Shweta Shah and I am your instructor for the subject microprocessor and microcontroller. In this subject we have started unit 2, that is architecture of microprocessor 8085 and 8051 microcontroller. Okay, in this session we are going to see how we can generate the control signal for the memory and the IO devices. So first let me see what are the outlines for this session. These are like, first we will see the control and status signal that we have already learned in the pin diagram. Just we will revise it over here, and then we will see the generation of the control signal, how we can generate the control signal. So let me start with the first control and status signal. So we know that there is two control signals like RD bar and WR bar that are for the reading and writing operation, and there is another control signal that is IO, M bar, that is for controlling whether your task is related to IO or related to memory. And we are having two status signals that are S0 and S1. And by combining this IO, M bar, S1 and S0, we have total 8 combination, and this 8 combination indicates the different operations that we have already learned in the pin diagram. Okay, so here we require that which type of control signals are required for which operation. Okay, so for example, if we consider that we require to complete the task of memory read. Okay, that means your task or your control should be for the memory. That means your IO, M bar signal should be 0, because it is showing both of these things. If IO, M bar is 0, that means your task is related to memory. If IO, M bar is 1, that means your task is related to IO. So if my task is like memory read, that means I have to do or I have to perform task related to memory. So my IO, M bar control signal will be 0 to indicate this task is related to memory. After that, I have two another control signals for memory, that is read and write. So for reading operation, the processor has to generate the read control signal, that is RD bar, and that is also active low control signal. That means to generate that signal should be 0. Okay, so we will require that RD bar should be 0 and IO, M bar should be 0 for your memory read operation. Okay, so whenever you have condition like IO, M bar is 0 as well as RD bar is 0, that means your task is related to memory read. Similarly, if my task is related to memory write, then IO, M bar will be 0 because it is also a memory related task, and the control signal which is generated should be WR bar, or you can say WR bar should be active low. Okay. Similarly, if we say that your task is related to IO read or IO write, so for that your value of IO, M bar should be 1 because it is IO related task. Okay, and if it is your IO read operation, then read control signal is generated, and if it is IO write operation, then write control signal is generated. That means it should be activated, and it is activated by putting it as a 0. Okay, so you can see here that for different tasks, like for memory read I will require IO, M bar to be 0 and RD bar to be 0. For memory write I will require IO, M bar to be 0 and WR bar to be 0. Okay, similarly for IO read I will require IO, M bar to be 1 and RD bar to be 0. So for particular control or you can say for particular operation you require particular control signal. Okay, so if we want to design a specific control signal for a specific task, then we have to combine both of these signals like IO, M bar, RD bar and WR bar. Okay, so in generation of the control signal, we will see how we can combine these signals to generate the particular control signal for memory reading, memory writing, IO reading and IO writing. Okay, here another operation, that is opcode fetch, in which we are fetching the operation code, that is your opcode. Okay, so in this also we are reading some content from the memory, but in memory read you doesn't require to decode that opcode. Okay, that is your data, because in memory read whenever you are reading some data, so you doesn't require to decode that data, but for opcode fetch you have to decode that data. Okay, so there is some difference between the opcode fetch and memory read, so that is indicated by this status signal. Okay, if your IO comma M bar is 0, RD bar is 0, that means memory read task is there. But if your status is 1 0, that means you are reading the data from the memory, and if your status is 1 1, that means you are fetching opcode from the memory. In both of these things, you are reading some content from the memory, but in memory read, you are reading the data. In opcode fetch, you are reading the opcode. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the opcode fetch and memory read cycles. So next we will see how we can design or how we can generate the particular control signal for generating 4 different signals for for memory read, for memory write, IO read, IO write. Okay, and these 4 signals are also active low control signal. Okay, that means we have indicated them by bar, and its meaning is that whenever this control signal is generated, its value will be 0. Okay, whenever its value is 0, that means this signal is activated, and whenever its value is 1, that means this signal is deactivated. Okay, so we have MEMR bar for reading the data from memory, MEMW bar, that is for writing the data into memory, IOR bar, that is for reading the data from the input port, and IOW bar, that is for writing the data into the output port. Okay, so these are the active low control signal that we require for the particular task. Okay, so if we combine over here, if we see here, just only 4 control signals and 4 IO comma M bar and RD bar and WR bar operations are shown over here. So for example, I want to do the memory read operation. Okay, so for memory read operation, the value of IO comma M bar will be 0. RD bar will be 0 because it will require reading operation. Okay, so RD bar will be activated, and activated, that means its value will be 0. And here also IO comma M bar is 0, that means it is the memory related task. Okay, and WR bar should be 1, that is you are not doing the writing task. Okay, and at a time there is not possibility that RD bar and WR bar both are 0 at a time. Both can't be activated at a time. Okay, so here for memory read operation, we are seeing that IO comma M bar is 0 and RD bar is 0. Okay, so by combining this 2 signal, we have to generate another signal, and its value should be 0. Whenever both of these are activated, we require to generate the memory read control signal, but that is also active low control signal. That means I have to generate this as a 0 to indicate this memory read control signal is generated. Okay, similarly, if we can see that IO read, so for IO read operation, here the value of IO comma M bar will be 1 because it is the IO related operation, and RD bar will be 0 to indicate the read operation. So whenever IO comma M bar is 1 and RD bar is 0, at that time IOR signal should be generated, its value should be 0. Okay, similarly, if we see that here for memory read write operation, your IO comma M bar will be 0 and WR bar will be 0 and RD bar will be 1. So whenever your IO comma M bar is 0 and WR bar is 0, you require to generate the memory write control signal. Okay, so if we summarize this thing, so we require some gate or some circuitry to combine this IO comma M bar and WR bar. Okay, and in that combination it requires that whenever its value, or you can say its input are 0 0, its output should be 0. Okay, so if we consider the AND gate, so there is the many possibilities, like if both inputs are 0 or any of one input is 0, then your output will be 0. So we can't use the AND gate because it will give the output in one case, that is 0 0. Whenever both of these inputs are 0, it will give the result as a 0. But whenever any of one input is 0, that time it also generates that control signal. So we can't use the AND gate. If we consider the OR gate, then the output of this OR gate will be 0 if and only if both of these inputs are 0. Otherwise, any of one input is activated, your output will be 1. Okay, so we can use the OR gate to combining this IO comma M bar and WR bar for memory write and memory read. But for the IO read or IO write operation, we have here the input, second input as a 1. So for that we require the gate which has an input 1 and 0, and then it will give the output 0. Okay, because we require control signal to be 0, because it is the active low signal. Okay, so we have to invert this signal. So first we will invert this signal IO comma M bar, and then we can provide it to the OR gate. So whenever it is 1, it will invert it to the 0 and then provide it to OR gate along with the RD. Okay, so you can combine this 0 0 and get the activated output as a 0. Okay, so this is the basic circuit which we will require to generate the different control signal. You can consider it as a simple OR gate. Okay, but there is one constraint. For the IC designing purpose, we are generally using the universal gates like NAND gate and NOR gate. Okay, so we have to design this circuit by using the NAND gate and NOR gate. Basically operation is ORing. Okay, basically operation is ORing, but we have to generate this OR gate by using the universal gate like NAND or NOR. So as we know that OR gate is equals to bubbled NAND gate. Okay, so instead of using the OR gate, we will use the bubbled NAND gate. That means its input, it is the NAND gate, but its inputs are inverted. So in input we will also use one bubble. That indicates that whatever you are giving as an input, it is accepted after inverting. Okay, so basically we are going to use the bubbled NAND gate to generate this control signals. Okay, so this circuit can be like this. You can see here we have combined this IO comma M bar, RD bar and WR bar signals with using this bubbled NAND gate. Here you can see that these inputs are inverted. Okay, this is your NAND gate and its inputs are inverted. That is known as the bubbled NAND gate. Okay, its IC number, that is 74LS32. And for the IO read and IO write operation, we have to invert this IO comma M bar. Let me see for the memory read operation. So for this memory read, we are giving here IO comma M bar and RD bar, but after inverting. So whenever I am providing here 0 and here also 0, that are accepted after inverting, that is 1 1, and after getting this 1 1 to the input of NAND gate, it will generate the output. Okay, that will be 0. So this is the basic circuit. We have connected IO comma M bar directly for the memory read and memory write operation, and for the IO read and IO write operation we have to first invert this. Okay, so we are first using this inverter and then giving it to the NAND. Okay, so this is the basic circuit which we can use. Let me see each case with the example. For memory read operation, if I am considering that my IO comma M bar value will be 0, RD bar will be 0 and WR bar will be 1, and if I am providing this all of these things to the input of this whole circuit, then I will get as for the first bubble NAND gate as a, here I am getting 0 and after inverting it will be 1, here I am getting 0, after inverting it will be 1. Okay, whenever you are providing 1 1 to the input of the NAND gate, you will get output 0. So here we will get the 0. That is our memory read control signal. For all other gates, let me see what will happen. Here we are providing 0. That means after inverting it will get the 1. Here it is 0, but it is inverted 2 times. So here this 0 will be 1 and this 1 will be 0. So we are getting here as a 0. For next thing, here we are seeing from the upper case, that is also will be 0. For another input for RD bar, here we are getting 0 also, and for WR bar here we are getting 1, and similarly here as a 0. So if we combine all of these things, then we will see that this particular NAND gate only gets 2 input as a 1 1. And for NAND gate, if your both of these input are 1 1, then and only then you will get output as a 0. Otherwise your output will be 1. And our requirement is that we require output as a 0. Okay, so here we are generating the control signal for the memory read. Similarly, if we consider the IO comma M bar as a 0, RD bar as a 1 and WR bar as a 0, then we will get the memory write control signal. And for IO comma M bar as a 1, RD bar as a 0, WR bar as a 1. So here we will get 1. Here that is 1 directly given, after inverting it will be 0, and then it is inverted another time, then we will get the 1. Okay, and here RD bar is given 0, and then after inverting from here it will get the 1. So your output will be 0 for this IO read operation. And similarly for the IO write, IO comma M bar is 1, RD bar is 1, and WI bar is 0. Okay, so by this way we can generate the control signal. This is basically the ORing operation, but this ORing operation by using the bubble NAND gate. Okay, now let me combine this both of these things, that is the demultiplexing of the bus that we have seen in the last session, and this generation of the control signal. Then your whole circuitry can be given like this. This is your 8085 microprocessor. This is your address bus like AD0 to AD7, that is combined address and data bus. A8 to A15 higher order address bus. ALE pin to demultiplex the address and data bus. So this is the first block that we have seen in the last session, where we are demultiplexing the signal by using this ALE signal. So we are demultiplexing AD0 to AD7, so we will have D0 to D7 over here, A0 to A7 over here, and A8 to A15 over here. So this is our address bus and data bus, and with this address bus and data bus we will require some control signal for the memory and for IO, and that signals can be generated by this circuitry, that is your bubble NAND gate circuitry. Okay, so this is the whole combined circuit for interfacing this with another memory or another IO device. Okay, so here we are ending our today's session. If you have any query, then you can contact.